Hey everyone, I'm Justine and this is Stephanie. We are from Just 26 Hot Yoga and Meditation in Largo, Florida. And we are here to give the Burst community some yoga stretches, some poses you can put together that can help you either maybe in the morning, at night when you come home, and even throughout the day if you have a break at work. So some postures that will help relieve some stress, some tension, help prevent injuries, and just help you reset throughout the day if you ever feel like you're overwhelmed or stressed. It's really great for any of us to take those few minutes to slow down. A lot of times just focus on the breath and get you feeling good. Okay, so this is child's pose. Your knees are spread wide. Your arms are lengthening forward. You're resting your forehead on the mat, the space between your eyebrows, a very restorative posture. So this is a great place to start. Every inhale, you want to lengthen your fingertips forward. Every exhale, sinking the hips back to your heels. You should feel a nice deep opening through the hips, the inner thighs. Letting the chest relax to the ground, the shoulders relax. And so you don't want to hang on to any muscles. You're not keeping the muscles active. You want to use the breath to really release, to let go. So I would stay here for about 10 really nice, slow, deep breaths. Again, this is a great restorative posture if you're feeling stressed, achy, overwhelmed. This is a great posture, child's pose, to start with. Wake up in the morning, take a child's pose, focus on your breath. So you'll inhale deeply through the nose, really filling up. On the exhales, letting go, nice slow exhales, trying to match the length of your inhales and exhales. And then we will push ourselves up into a tabletop. So Stephanie will bring her shoulders over the wrists. Maybe the palms can even be a touch wider than the shoulders to help open up the collarbone. The hips are in line over the knees, the tops of the feet on the ground behind the knees. And you start with a nice long neutral spine, so we're keeping the spine long, the neck long. And this will help open up our spine. So we'll take a couple cat-cows here, and we'll start by taking a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, pressing through the space between the shoulders, rounding the spine. Tuck the chin to the chest, gaze up towards the navel. As you inhale, drop the stomach down. Good, rolling the shoulders down away from the ears, looking up towards the ceiling, opening the collarbone. Good, exhale, round the spine, press through the space between the shoulders. The core is in tight, chin to your chest. Inhale, you'll look up, drop the stomach down, roll the shoulders down and back, really opening through the chest. And we'll do one more as you exhale, round the spine. Good, press through the space between the shoulders, gaze up towards the navel. And as you inhale, let the stomach drop. Open the chest, roll the shoulders down away from the ears, looking up towards the ceiling. Good, then coming back to a neutral spine. So that was tabletop. Another good one that you can take throughout the day. If you're feeling like you've been standing all day, maybe hunched over, it's a really good one to open up the spine. You warm up the back, open the chest. And we will come into a hip stretch, our lizard posture. So you'll start by stepping the right foot on the outside of the right hand. And then you can toe heel the foot a touch so the toes come slightly out, the heel can stay in. Then taking a second here, you just want to adjust, starting on your palms, maybe scooting the left knee back a touch. And checking in, this might be super intense for you, so you can totally stay here, just letting the head and neck relax. You should feel a nice deep stretch through the hip into the hip flexors. And if that feels okay, maybe a little intense, but you feel like you can go further, you can try dropping your forearms onto the mat. And letting that right knee open out to the side. Again, letting the head and neck relax. Good, either here if you're on your forearms, if you're on your palms, and you can shake your head yes and no, maybe loosening up the neck a touch. Should be a really deep hip opener for you. And whether you're on the forearms, on your palms, you want to take a few really deep breaths here. Maybe 5 really long, slow, deep breaths. So connecting with our breath is really going to help us let go, especially on the exhales, releasing any tension. You can scan your body if there's any particular area, maybe in back in your hips, so you feel extra tense or tight. You want to use the breath to really relax. And sending your breath to those areas. Again, long, slow, deep inhales through the nose, filling up. And as you exhale back through the nose, letting go, releasing. This is also going to help to clear your mind. And so take 5 long, slow, deep breaths here in your lizard posture. And then when you're ready, if you're on your forearms, pushing yourself gently back up, stepping your right leg back. Good, coming back into your tabletop. And we'll do the left side, so you can step your left foot on the outside of your left hand. Again, toe heel the foot out, you touch. You can scoot the right knee back. And then adjusting here, again, either staying on your palms. Good, if that feels good, you feel like you can move on, coming onto your forearms. Should feel like a pretty deep hip stretch. Getting into your hip flexors, the inner thighs. And either letting the head and neck relax, or maybe taking a couple movements side to side, shaking the head out yes and no. And we continue to focus on the breath. So the breath is what helps us, again, quiet the mind. So if you've been working all day, maybe this is during a break and you've seen a handful of patients, you're already thinking about the next people coming in. If you have a lot on your to-do list, it's always good for us to kind of take a couple minutes to reset, focus on the breath. We tend to feel really calm after. We can process things better. We approach situations with a more peaceful, calm energy. So stretching here through the left side, and maybe 5, 10 breaths, and long, slow, deep breaths, slowly pushing yourself up. And then bringing the left leg back, coming into your tabletop. And taking a breath here. Good, releasing. And then we'll come into a high plank position. So stepping the feet back, pressing through the heels, the shoulders over the wrists. You always have the option to drop your knees on the ground if that feels a little too intense. You'll still get the same core activation. And otherwise, stepping the feet back, bringing the hips in line with the shoulders. So you want to make sure you're not lifting the hips too high or too low. So hips are right in line with the shoulders stacked over the wrists. There's one long line of energy from the crown of the head back through the spine, out through the heels. So really good core strengthening exercise. Stephanie's building some heat in the body. Good, taking a breath there. Good, then you'll lower the stomach down, coming kind of into a low push-up as you lower down, elbows in close. You can come onto the stomach. Good, rest, pause, and then pushing yourself up into an upward facing dog. Tops of the feet stay on the ground. Good, lifting the knees, opening up through the chest, breathing here. So it's going to help stretch through the core you were just activating, opening up the collarbone, maybe looking up towards the ceiling, opening up. Take a deep breath in. Good, exhale, tuck the toes under, lift the hips high, coming into a downward facing dog. You can pedal the feet out left and right. Good, stretching the back of the legs. A downward facing dog can also be a very restorative posture as well. So we're bringing the head below the heart, which is an inversion. So we're sending fresh blood, oxygen into the brain and filling ourselves up. And from here you can spread the fingers wide, making sure the shoulders relax down away from the ears. Lift the hips up. pressing down through the heels so you really get a nice deep stretch through the back of the legs. And then I'll show you, you can flow through those couple movements from plank down through your chaturanga or your high to low plank into your upward facing dog. You want to move breath to movement, and if you want, you can take a couple of those throughout the day, add it into your stretches. You build strength, you gain energy, you kind of clear your head at the same time. So on your inhale, you gaze forward. Shift the weight forward over the shoulders. Good, then slowly lower down and high to low plank, elbows in close. Then inhale to an upward facing dog. Good, on your exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Good. Good, so that's like a gentle yoga flow. Go from your down dog to a high plank, move through your high to low plank, coming in through upward facing dog, back to your downward facing dog. So we're here in our downward facing dog. We'll just gaze forward, we'll drop our knees down, come back into a tabletop position. And then we'll swing the legs out in front of you and we'll come into a butterfly. Bring the soles of the feet together. And another good hip opener. And you open the knees wide. And you can rest your hands on your feet. Maybe start by sitting up straight. So working on the posture, reaching up through the top of the head, opening up the heart. Maybe keep your eyes closed here. And connecting yourself back to your breath. Focusing on the inhales. And maybe counting to 4, 5, or 6 on the inhales, really filling up. And on the exhales, counting down from 6, 5, or 4. And every exhale, relaxing the knees open. You should feel that stretch in the hips, the inner outer thighs. And we're elongating the spine, opening the chest. And so a few breaths there with a nice tall spine. And then you can go ahead and gently round the top of the spine. Good. Relaxing the head and neck. And so a little more restorative. Again, opening up the knees, allowing the hips to open, relaxing the head and neck. We'll take a few breaths there. With every exhale, maybe you round the spine even further down. And releasing any tension, any tightness, and any stress you've had throughout the day. And maybe taking 5, 10 nice, long, slow, deep breaths in your butterfly. And when you're ready, slowly coming up one vertebrae at a time. And coming all the way up. And then we'll come into our final resting posture. You might want to scoot the hips forward a touch and bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Bringing the arms out long beside you to start. But then lower down really slow. Coming onto your back. You can spread the legs really wide. If you have a mat, to the edge of your mat, arms down by your side, the palms up to the ceiling. So you're coming into this surrender posture. Your final, your Shavasana. Closing the eyes here, allowing the muscles in the face to soften, unclenching the jaw, maybe relaxing the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. You can do a quick scan of your body, seeing if there's anywhere you're holding on to, really using the breath to soften those areas in your body, and letting the shoulders melt down away from the ears. And so Shavasana, resting posture, a really nice way to end your practice, end your stretching. You're focusing on your breath, you're resetting the mind and the body, you're letting go of anything, any old energy, anything that feels really heavy. You can kind of let that go, leave behind, leave that in the break room. Then you're able to reset and start again with some new energy, maybe some more calm, peaceful energy. So resting here for a good 10 breaths. And then when you're ready, bringing your knees together. rolling on to one side, either the right or left side. Good. Coming into your good morning, your fetal position. Good. Then slowly pressing yourself up into a seated posture. You can bring your hands to heart center. And just maybe taking a couple breaths, acknowledging yourself. Good things to repeat to yourself, maybe 3 things you're grateful for. And then bringing the thumbs to the third eye, the space between the eyebrows. Good, taking a bow to yourself. Good, honoring yourself. Breathe. And then we end with a namaste. So we honor ourselves, we speak words of gratitude, and we get a nice reset for the mind and the body, and we're ready to move on with the rest of our day.